That's probably was my cause what's up, Buttercup? It's your girl, Coach Missy. There are times, thank you, Jesus. When you need someone, that's what the Lord said. I will be by your side. I will be by your side. Yes, I'll be by your side. I am not eating no more Panera this week. I'm cool on Panera. I thought I wanted it. I don't. I got it. Okay, we gonna get to break the Panera 1 through 10. It was a 6. It was mid. All right, y'all. Welcome back to another day. Remember, we doing Black Magic all week. Call it what you want to. We are talking about Black Magic all week. I am here to give you another day of Black Magic oil rituals. Yes, y'all. Welcome back to our Black Magic launch week. We just introduced a 7 piece set. There's no more Black Magic. There's nothing else Black Magic I can do unless I do something for your home. I didn't do that, did I? Oh damn. I could have got some Black Magic wash, but all y'all gotta do is take some Black Magic oil and drop it in your favorite mop water and go for it. I'm not y'all can do that. Today, I'm going to give you all a couple more ways on how to use Black Magic, right? Today, we are talking about how to use it as an attraction activator, okay? Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Listen, where my bottle at? That's why you want to put none on today. Baby, listen. I don't know about y'all, but Black Magic make people tell me the truth. Black Magic make people tell me their innermost thoughts. They say, and it works, and it do. If you have a Black Magic confirmation and you want the world to know, y'all come on in, join my live, and give us your Black Magic confirmation. I am here to answer all of your Black Magic questions. As you can see, guys, we have a full 7 piece bundle that is now up. She said, I'm all ears. You want to hear about Black Magic? All right. So if you have a Black Magic confirmation, whether you've told it to us or not, this is the time to go ahead and join the live and give us your Black Magic confirmation. All right. And in addition, listen, for you giving me, I will give you the free mini ritual guide, regardless if you bought the 7 piece kit or not, if you give us your confirmation. All right, y'all. So listen, this is your command the room energy. Listen, I ain't asking, I'm receiving oil. This is I ain't asking, I'm receiving. All right. So while we're getting started, go ahead and tap the link in my bio or head to iamcoachmissy.com. In addition to the 7 piece set for 177 with the free with ritual guide, I have a flash sale going on. Now, I this is not a good representation of the mist because it's damn near gone. That's just show you how much I use it. But today only for $55, you can get the Black Magic oil and the mist. The Black Magic oil in the mist. Now, it does not come with the free guide, but we do have a flash sale going on. If you go to iamcoachmissy.com, click the link in the bio, you can get the Black Magic oil and the mist together. Free shipping, as always, for $55. All right. All right. So, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to show you exactly how to use it. So, yesterday I taught you guys 3 ways to use Black Magic oil. I'm going to give you 3 more. I'm tired of people buying my stuff to me. I don't know how to use it. Coach, will y'all be having all the oils I sell and don't use nothing? That's crazy work. Today I'm going to teach you how to use it. So, first of all, we're going to get right to it. Do you want to be seen? Do you want to be remembered? You're always on my mind. Do you always want to be on their mind? Let's talk about the attraction swipe. Okay, go ahead and get your Black Magic out. We're going to do this together. We go ahead and get your Black Magic out. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me go ahead and get rid of it. I don't understand how people troll. You listen to stuff and then troll. That's crazy work. Go ahead and get your Black Magic out. Let's get it. Let's go. Okay, the attraction swipe. Huh? And you're gonna be like, well, wait, didn't we do this yesterday? It's what you say. Understand, it's not only what you do, it's what you say when you use Black Magic. All right? All right. I feel like this is at an odd ass angle for me. Or maybe let me put this picture down here. Can y'all see it? I'm gonna put the picture a little smaller. I feel like this is at an odd ass angle. I don't know. Hey y'all. There we go. All right, let's get into it. So we got your Black Magic oil out. What we're gonna do is let's go ahead and do it now. We're gonna take it, smell it. Amazing. Black Magic smells so dope. We're going to take it. Listen, most of the things I teach you only need 1 to 3. Listen, you only need one. Listen, it's too small to read. There you go. Well, go to ironcoachmissy.com. Most of the things, most of the practices or the ways you use Black Magic The rituals only require 1 to 3 drops, okay? But I mean, I know I like to bathe in it. I don't know about y'all. She said it really smells amazing. Thank you. So you are going to go ahead and take 3 drops in your palm. 2, 3. See, that ain't a lot. I don't really even press the top of it. I let the dropper do what it's supposed to do. I'm going to rub 3 drops into my palms. I'm going to anoint my wrist. We did this yesterday. Anoint my wrist. I'm going to anoint my neck. And I'm going to take some and go behind my ears. Right? So this is how it started out yesterday. 3 drops in the middle of your palm. Anoint your wrist. Bow, bow, bow. Anoint your neck. Bloop, bloop, bloop. And behind your ears. Bow, bow. Right? And this is what I want you to say. Close your eyes. And I want you to say this out loud. I want you to see what you want. I attract what aligns. I am unforgettable. I magnetize blessings and favor. All right, let's say it together. I'm going to say it and you say it. I attract what aligns. Marshall, we waiting on you to say it. I attract what aligns. I am unforgettable. I am unforgettable. I magnetize blessings and favor. I magnetize blessings and favor. All right, now here's the deal. The reason why I want you to say I attract what aligns is a lot of y'all attracting the stuff that ain't meant for you. As I look back over my life, a lot of us are attracting what's not meant for you. People are attracted to the energy because they need your energy, not because they match your energy. That's a message. That's a word. That's a word. A lot of y'all are getting people that's attracted to you because they need your energy, not match your energy. We gonna change that. Clock that T. Clock it. That's a word, huh? They need your energy, not that they match your energy, right? But if you say I attract what aligns, that means what aligns to what it is that you want, how what aligns in your spiritual and daily life, what aligns to you on your emotional level, right? I am unforgettable. You understand me? After me, there will be no other. Okay. And then I magnetize blessings and favor, right? Not only am I attracting what aligns, and it ain't got to be a man, this could be anything. This could be a new job opportunity. This could be a new business. This could be new funding. I magnetize blessings and favor. Blessings and favor, right? So listen, you do this before you step into any space. So this is another reason why y'all need that roll on too. And then, listen, you can always go to IamCoachMissy.com and purchase. Maybe you do have a lot of Black Magic products because maybe what y'all do, y'all gonna buy Black Magic. Now, let me answer this question. I know what y'all about to say. Can I do this with the mist? It's not as powerful. What I'm giving you is meant for Black Magic oil. So you either have the full bottle of oil or you have the oil roll on right here. So if I have my oil roll on, I don't have to put it in the middle of my palm. I'm going to anoint my wrist. I'm going to do wrist number 1, wrist number 2. How many wrists you got? I'm going to go around my neck. This is before I walk in the room and behind my ears. And I'm gonna say I attract what aligns. I am unforgettable. I magnetize blessings and favor. You going on the job interview, do that, right? So this is again, you do this before stepping into any space, whether it's a work, a date, interviews, or even errands. Let people feel your presence before you speak. Hmm? I attract what aligns. Right now, let me go ahead and answer this question for y'all. You gonna be, I told you, what if I got a date with somebody new and I do that and I go in there and the date is bad or he's an asshole? Guess what? Black Magic did what it was supposed to do. That ain't for you. Black Magic allowed them. When I tell you Black Magic been allowing people to show me their true self, Black Magic been, it's to the point, y'all, where sometimes I don't even want to put the oil on because Lord, I said, when I put the oil on, this person gonna tell me what they really here for. Even if I'm not in their presence, when I put that, if I wear this oil, they gonna tell me what they really came here for, and I don't. Ooh, baby, baby, if it ain't good enough for me, baby. Marcia, I'm not about to play with you. All right, y'all. So listen, that's number 1. This is the attraction method, right? You're attracting what you want, when you want, and how you want it. And you're going to let I hate you. And you're going to let everything else reveal itself. All right, y'all ready to move on to number 2? Okay. This is called, we're gonna do the power walk. Again, a lot of these things I'm teaching you is what I taught you yesterday, but I'm giving you to it in a different perspective, right? So we're gonna talk about how to shift energy in your path. how to shift the energy in your path, right? So, what I want you to do is take your shoe off or go ahead and rub it on the bottom of your feet. If you ain't got no shoes on, you're going to put directly on your skin. I got shoes on today. Me and my shoes match my headband, which match my dress. I got on shoes today. Ain't they cute? This how I be walking in the house. I got on shoes today. I said, just because I ain't going outside, I mean I'm not going to be cute. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a drop and rub it at the bottom of our shoe or to put it on the bottom of our feet. All my spiritual girls, you probably gonna put it directly on your feet. That's okay. Now, I'm gonna take a drop, put it directly in the center of my shoe. I'm gonna do two of them. Huh? And I'm gonna rub it in just a little bit. I'm gonna rub it in just a little bit. As I'm rubbing this, every step I take leads me closer to overflow. I walk in authority. Huh? Take a drop, rub it on the bottom of your shoe or your feet, and say, every step I take leads me closer to overflow. I walk in authority. Now, this is when you need to own the room. Listen, this is what you do before you go into a meeting. This is what you do. Some of y'all need this before y'all go into court. Oh, Lord. Some of y'all need that in court. This is what you do before you walk into a room, right? This practice shifts the room before you even open up your mouth. This practice is gonna have all eyes on you before you even open up your mouth. Okay, Tupac. Baby, this is what we're doing. This is called the power walk. You are going to shift energy in your path. You say, hey, listen, every step I take leads me closer to overflow. I walk in authority. If you missed our class from yesterday, our pop-up tutorial, go to my YouTube. I am Coach Missy and check that out. Now, we're gonna do the mirror ritual, the mirror one. Marshall, yeah. Bring me a mirror. Where? Give me that little blue box. Give me that little blue box that's on that table, the little Mother's Day box, my little mirror in there. Y'all, I have manifestation mirrors that I'm sending out in the Mother Day boxes. The Mother Day boxes are currently half price on thisiscme.com. Nope, on the round table in the other room. They are currently half price on thisiscme.com. My Mother Day blessed box is the code is nifty 50. If I have any mods in the chat, please go ahead and put that. You can still go to imcoachmisty.com and go to my main site. There's a link to go to thisiscme.com. If that's too much to remember, just go to my link tree and go down to where you see thisiscme.com. Click on that. The code to save 50% off of everything other than reading, yes, is Nifty 50, NIFTY, and the number 50. If you want to keep up with what we got going on here at thisiscme.com, with Coach Misty, please go sign up for my emails, okay? The discount code is Nifty 50. That's only on thisiscme.com. That is not going to work on this full Black Magic set. Trust and believe. All right? All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my mirror out. Thank you for the gift. I'm going to get my mirror out, okay? I'm gonna get my mirror out. It was in my little Mother's Day box. I'm gonna get my mirror out, right? My manifestation mirror. Come on, somebody. Blessed by the best. All right. And what I'm going to do, we always are going to rub some oil. Oh, hold on. How we open it up? I'm opening it up the wrong way. All right. So I'm gonna get my little mirror out. Bow, bow, bow. Y'all, when y'all get y'all mirror, there is some film on here. You know what? There is a piece of film on here. Please take the film out. Please don't email us talking about I can't see in the mirror. Take the film off the mirror. You know what? Never mind. I'll get Baby Shay to take the film off of all of the mirrors anyway. I wanted you to take it off yourself, but I ain't got time for them email. Y'all be like, I got it, but how do I see myself? It's clouded. Did somebody put something on me? No, ma'am. That's to protect. Never mind. So listen, we're gonna do it like this. We're going to take this is the mirror ritual, right? Or the mirror practice. This is to build magnetic confidence, right? This is how you build confidence. A lot of us need confidence. So we're going to take our oil, rub it between our palms, and look in the mirror with our hand over our heart. And we're going to say something 3 times. So go ahead and get you a mirror. Go ahead and get you a mirror. This is why I want you to manifest in your mirror. Let that mirror hold your manifestations. Go ahead and get your mirror. I'm going to sit my mirror down here. You can hold your mirror like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the oil. If you got the roll on, you can take the roll on and rub it in the middle of your hand, right? Rub it in the middle of the hand. Your oil, I always use Black Magic on my hands. I mean, yeah, you can just apply to different parts of your body, but I always put Black Magic in my hands. I'm going to rub it in between my palms. I'm going to place my hand over my heart, and I'm going to look in the mirror. And I'm going to say, I am the one they notice. I am the one they remember. I am the one who receives. That's powerful. Say it again. Ready? I am the one they notice. I am the one they remember. I am the one who receives. One more time. I don't know about y'all, but my chest got tight. One more time. Hand over your heart, understanding that the baby, the real black magic lies in you. I am the one they notice. I am the one they remember. I am the one who receives. Huh? This is deep right here. You are aligning your energy, your aura, and your intentions. You understand me? This one, listen, if you don't do nothing else, I teach you this week. If you don't do nothing else, I teach you this week. This is the one you need to do. You need to get in your listen. If you didn't order one of my little manifestation mirrors, it's okay. That's fine. If you ain't got the Mother's Day box, that's the only way you're gonna get one is in our Mother's Day box, in our little cutie badootie boxes. That's okay. But what I want you to do is get in that mirror before you leave out that house. Before you leave out that house, I don't care before you can put your clothes on, whatever. I want you to put that black magic, put it in, listen, put it in the palm of that hand. Put your hand over your heart. Look at yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am. I am the one they noticed. I am the one they remember. I am the one who receives. I'm going to say it over here because I want y'all to understand this. Say it 3 times out loud. I am. And you got to say it. Listen, I want you to say it like you're singing to yourself. Huh? If your favorite R&B singer, if your favorite artist was singing to you, how would they look into your eyes? That's how you got to look at yourself in the eyes. Huh? The way Anthony Hamilton sang to me, I can't stay away from you too long. The way Anthony Hamilton sang that song to me when I was at the thing, he sang it to me. And I'm not just saying that like, oh, girl, he was talking to me too. No, he literally sang the song to me. I'm going to look at myself the way Anthony Hamilton was looking at me. I'm not gonna look at me the way my date was looking at me because now he trying to figure out how the fuck do I know Anthony Hamilton, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, listen. This is I want you to do this. I am the one they notice. Listen, I am the one they remember. I am the one who receives. I'm gonna say it over here. I'm gonna look at you like Anthony Hamilton looked at me. I am the one they notice. I am the one they remember. I am the one you think. I am the one who receives. I am the one that receives. Baby, that's deep. That's deep. If these practices, Zion was like, can you please stop? It's demonic. They think I'm demonic any damn way. If these practices spark something in you, if they moved you, I don't want you to wait. Listen, come on. I am the one they notice. I am the one they remember. I am the one who receives. Mm. Let me tell you something. To all of my exes, to all of the people who thought they was gonna be my nexus, I will hunt your dreams. Hold on 1 second. I will hunt your dreams. You will never forget me. You understand me? When you close your eyes, you will see my face. And instead we trying to spend by. And the point of it all is I love you. Bow, bow. Okay? Okay? Listen. The next one you get, when you look at her, you'll see me. Period. You'll hear my voice in the middle of the night. Wait a minute, she got real. Never mind. Never mind. She got real. Oh. It looks like it's cold. Look at me. Now that's that shit y'all be really wanting me to do right there. Huh? Huh? In the middle of the night, you'll hear my voice. Huh? You'll smell my scent. Yeah. That's what I really want me to do. I really want me to do that hocus pocus bullshit. Huh? Yes. Come on. Yes, I am the one they notice. I am the one they remember. I'm the one who receives. They'll never forget about me. Even when you forget your name, I will still linger in your spirit. Now that's some deep shit right there. Huh? I said, baby, even when you forget your name, even when dementia comes, I will still be in your spirit. Huh? Huh? Yeah. That's deep, ain't it? Now that's the shit y'all be wanting me to do anyway, ain't it? That's the shit y'all be wanting me to do. Yeah, that's what it is. All right, listen, let me say that's what y'all be wanting me to do. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, let's get into it. Oh, I'm petty. Oh, I'm spiritually petty. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I'm spiritually petty. The ones who think, listen, the ones who try to play reindeer games, I'm not her for real. No, I ain't gonna do nothing. I don't want to see, listen, I want to see you flourish. I want to see you get money. I want you to find love. But understand and know that I will listen. The essence of me will never leave your spirit. Huh? I am like a drug habit you can't kick. You will forever long for me. Forever. And I will be, listen, out of reach forever. Huh? Come on, you would tell somebody that shit? When you close your eyes, you'll see my face. When you close your eyes in the still of the night, you'll hear my voice. You will feel my lips on your neck and wake up and there's nobody there. Huh? That was real. Huh? Yeah. That's how that goes. Hmm? You say, you said that's not good. I had a few stalkers because of stuff like that. Ain't nobody stalking. What they gonna do? What you mean? You said that'll fuck a cheater's mind up. Ain't about messing up a cheater's mind. Mm-mm. I want you to be happy. I want you to have a new relationship. I want you to find love. I want you to get married. But you'll never forget me. Never, never, never in a million years. You'll hear my laugh. You'll never forget me. Okay? They do. They do. And that's only listen, that's only to the ones, Lord, don't let me get no blessed bills out. That's only to the ones who think they like to play games. Huh? They think like to play games. Yeah. Yeah. I don't see. Here's the deal. I don't wish bad on nobody. No, no, we don't wish bad on nobody. No, that's mess up your energy. I don't wish bad on nobody or nothing like that. However, listen, however, you will never forget about me. I don't care how much it is, you'll never forget about me. There will always be a hole in your heart. There will always be a longing for me. Always. Nobody will ever be able to fill it. Black magic. That ain't true for everybody. Sometimes they be getting your motherfucking asses. But this one, and they know who I'm talking about. That's okay, stink, stink. That's okay. That's okay. You will be bound. Listen, you will be bound to me forever. I don't care if we spend 10 years together or 10 minutes. You will be bound to me forever because I said it is so. Huh? Your future daughter will have my eyes. Your wife will have my smile. Yeah. All right, guys. So listen, hey, I'm back. So thank you. No, this lip gloss is actually from Sequence Beauty. You tell I'm hell to tell. This is actually Sequence Beauty. Go check her out. It's one of my moderators. So here's the deal, guys. The Black Magic Flash deal that we have today. You said too much, not a fuck enough. Not enough. See, listen, not enough. That ain't too much. That's not enough. Huh? Listen, if you wanted me, hey, listen, most men come bothering me. I be minding my fat business. I be minding my Timu business. Huh? I like to buy headbands and earrings and clothes. I be minding my Timu business, trying to collect credits. And here y'all come bothering me. bothering me. I don't listen. I'm out of my business. I'm chilling over here. Okay, creating an empire, trying to employ my friends and family. And here y'all come bothering me. And then when I call you out on your bullshit, you get mad. When I call you out on your fuck shit, you get mad. Huh? I was over here minding my business. I told you to leave me alone. I didn't want you. I told you to go on about your business. Okay. One night, call me Dream Girls, because we doing one night only. One night only. That's all I have to give. One night only. That's it. Call me Effie. I'm giving you one night only. That's it. That's all I got. Leave me alone. I'll give them fair warning. Walk away. Don't call me no more. Okay? Take it for what it's worth. Huh? Let me live. But oh no. Oh no. You want to be on my heels. You want to be on my tracks. Huh? You out here like a bloodhound. I give you plenty of opportunities to leave me alone. Now I got to haunt you in your sleep. Huh? Now I got to haunt you in your sleep. Huh? Now, when you in the bed alone, you're going to wake up and rub your eyes because you're going to swear you see the back of these blonde finger waves. These 360s laying on your pillow. You're like, oh my God, she's never been to my house. How did you get here? And you won't be able to get through because you blocked. And you have to be like the other people and just watch me on YouTube. One night only. One night only. That's all I have to give. Okay, I got another one that's in the Barbados. That man is on vacation in the Barbados with his homeboys calling me. That man, hey, how you doing? I said, are you not in the Barbados? He said, yeah, I'm he's at FaceTime. I'm sitting by the pool. We just went snorkeling. Can I call you when I get back to my room? Sir, you are on vacation. I wouldn't call you if I was on vacation. Leave me alone. Walk away. See, that imprint is something different. That imprint, I didn't say that coochie. I said that imprint is something different. That spiritual imprint. I tell people to leave me alone. This ain't really what you want. I promise you, you better off just sitting here chilling with me watching TV. Listen, that imprint is something different, huh? So when I spiritually imprint on you, when I spiritually imprint on you. That's why y'all kids love me because I spiritually imprint. This ain't about no physical thing. This is spiritual. When I spiritually imprint on you, when I hold you in the middle of the night, my God, when I got on black magic, when I get in that bed and I got on black magic from head to toe, when I got the spray in my hair and I hold you, how I hold you, you don't even know you wanted to be held like that. You understand me? When I hold you and y'all calling late to work and I hold you. I'm not talking about see the real black magic happens before and after the bop 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 bop. Huh? When you go to work and you say, I can't stop thinking about you, you're always on my mind. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Huh? Yeah, when you pick up the phone, listen, when you call me as I was texting you, when you have to see my face, huh? You can't leave me, I leave you. You can't leave me. You can't leave me, Steve. I leave you. And a lot of y'all be asking me, how do I get somebody to come back? How do I get somebody to da da da? The question is, how do you get them not to leave? How do you get them listed? How do you have a spiritual and emotional attachment on these motherfuckers that could last for years? How does that happen? Hmm? I didn't get the Black Widow name for nothing. Spider, that is. Huh? That's what y'all need to be asking me. Yeah. So today we have the Black Magic and the Mist on sale for $55, free shipping. You can get the full set for 177 and get a free ritual guide. Also on May 3rd, I am having a private ritual tutoring session. You tell me what you want to do and I'm gonna tell you how to get it. You can use my products. You might need to get some shit from outside, whatever it is, because that's what y'all want anyway. We're doing a private ritual tutoring session. Okay. All right. Yeah. That's what we doing. See, come on, Rich Risings. Rich Risings, I don't listen. My baby daddy named Rich. Ain't no I got time for that. So listen, when you go to imcoachmissy.com, the first thing you're gonna see is the flash sale, and that's gonna be up until midnight. You get the oil in the mist for $55. All right. The next thing is going to be the 7-piece bundle that comes with the free ritual guide. Also, we have the private black magic ritual training, which Coach Misty. Again, this is I'm going to tell you, listen, I'm gonna tell you what it is that you need to do, and with all my products, whatever it is, okay? It's okay, friend. Hey, Nefertiti, you okay, friend? No, I don't. I don't get into I don't know enough. Let me say this. I don't know enough about the grand rising and rich rising and why we should not say good morning. I never got into it, but I do meet a lot of spiritual people, and you all have that greeting. But I don't want to come back and be like, oh yeah, rich risings, because I don't know enough about it or the reason why I'm saying it, and I don't want to be ignorant. I just don't want to say things to say it. So I don't know enough about it to be all like, um like, oh, oh, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So I don't know enough about it. So I just like, okay, girl. Hey, girl, hey. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So one day I'm gonna sit down and have a talk. What for the ritual, the private black magic ritual training is going to be Saturday night. It's gonna be Saturday evening. Okay. Saturday evening on the 3rd. We're going to do it at 7 p.m. on Saturday. And you will be able to ask me anything you want to ask me. That's what y'all been wanting to do anyway. Anything. And I'm going to tell you how to do it. I'm going to tell you how to do it. Okay. All right. Also, tonight we're going to be doing our Black Magic Manifestation readings again. Okay, I can help you manifest. That's on iamcoachmissy.com. Take advantage of the flash sale, right? Because here's the deal. Once you start using black magic, and someone said this in the comments, number one thing is you have to believe. You have to believe. When I tell you, I believe with every inch of my body that I am going to be imprinted until these niggas DNA until I die. You hear me? Imprinted until they DNA until I die. That's when you'll be released. When the Lord takes me on the glory at 89, and that's if you still here. Okay. So as I was saying, okay, never, you'll never forget about me, stink. All right, y'all. So listen again with the Black Magic Flash deal with the oil and the mist. This is a perfect aura cleansing and attraction duo, right? So listen, even if you're not ready to expand, you just want like, hey, I want to see what this do. These two together, listen, this is going to manifestation activation, and this one is going to clean it cleans your aura, it cleans the aura around your ass, or whatever the case may be, right? So we people have already used black magic to attract clients, lovers, confidence, or cash. We have a lot of black magic confirmations. You can go back on my page and check them out. These are live confirmations, guys, where people call in. And I told y'all, if y'all had any confirmations y'all want to call in about, y'all can do it now, even if you gave those confirmations before, or you can ask to join the live. All right. So here's the deal. You ain't gotta chase anything when you work your rituals right. You don't have to chase. I don't chase shit. I don't chase money, and I don't chase no man. The oil is your daily tool to magnetize what's already meant for you. I told y'all this before. It says a warning. You said I've been making so many sales on eBay since using it. Girl, get in here and tell the people about it. There's a live confirmation right there. She said I've been making so many sales on my eBay since using it. You attract what's meant for you. You attract what you want. Listen, black magic oil increases your manifestations, it increases the vibrations, and your manifestations happen 3 times faster than normal. So if you are already a master manifester, the shit is going to happen right then and there. So go ahead and drop your questions about the oil in the comments. What questions do you have? I am here to answer questions about the oils right now. Black magic oil, right? And if you are watching this, I want to know who's already using it and what's your favorite ritual, right? Who's already using it? What's your favorite way to use it? And if you haven't, if you're not using it, but you plan to order, which one do you want to try first? Do you want to try the attraction ritual, which is the attraction swipe, rubbing three palms in your hand, putting it on your wrist, your neck, your wrist, closing your eyes and saying out loud, I attract what aligns. I am unforgettable. I magnetize blessings and favor. Are you going to do the power walk by simply putting 1 to 2 drops on the bottom of your feet or the bottom of your shoes and saying every step I take leads me closer to overflow. I walk in authority. Or it's gonna be the third one, which I like, which is that good old mirror ritual. And that's the biomagnetic confidence when you put the oil in the middle of your palm and you rub your hands together and you look in the mirror with your hand over your heart and say, I am the one they notice. I am the one they remember. I am the one who receives. Which one is it? For me, I like the mirror one. I am the one they notice. I am the one they remember. I am the one who receives. I'm going to say it over here for you. You ready? I am the one they notice. I am the one they remember. I am the one who receives. Huh? You like the mirror in the shoes? I like the mirror in the shoes too. All right, y'all. What questions do y'all have about Black Magic Oil? What questions do you have about my gift? Now is the time to ask these questions. Normally, people have to book to talk to me, even to ask about the products, if they didn't pick up what I was putting down when I go live and talk about them. So I'm giving you all a chance all this week to ask me questions. Remember, the $55 flash sale will end at midnight. It will end at midnight. Okay. All right. Nobody has any questions about the oil. Nobody has any questions about my gift. Nobody has any questions about how to use it. All right. Listen, everybody. Hey, the link is in my bio. You need to grab it before the price goes up. If you were the person. Okay, good friend. You said now I have directions on how to use it. See, I'm on the right path. All right, y'all. Listen. Again, you get both of them for $55. You can go ahead and step into your full power. This is a great starter kit with the full oil and this mist. If you use it correctly, now I'm gonna say this, baby. The girl, it smells so good. I'm tired of talking about it by myself. You said when you first realized you had a gift, was it hard to adjust to? No, because I knew I had a gift since I was 6 years old. What you mean? The normal time frame is based on. Hold on 1 second. You said what's the normal time frame to see results? The normal time frame is based on your belief. I see results instantly. When we got off, I'm gonna go back and answer that question and talk about my gift real quick. When I got off that last live and I said, Lord, send me somebody, send me a me, Lord, send me a such and such and this, that, and the other. Like send me blah 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 blah, right? When I got off that live, that's when old boy hit me up from Barbados. That's what he's in. I mean, he don't live in Barbados. I met him the other day. That's when old boy hit me up out the blue, like, hey, how you doing? Just checking on you. And out of all of the men that I've met within the last 30 days, he is the one that really reminds me of myself. Yeah, he has no small children. He go to school for he's going to school for business or has a business degree, right? We studied the same type of coding. We were talking about Python coding. He has a good personality and it is off the chain. I said, send me a me. I said that, and he hit me up. And that was that. You said when you are manifesting money, do you have to focus on a certain dollar amount? Yes. You have to be specific in detail. I don't care if you're using my oil or whatever you're doing. You need to be specific in detail about what you are doing. You have to have a certain dollar amount. Because if you say, Lord, send me money, and God send you $5, you're gonna be like, oh my God, I needed 1,500. Well, you didn't say that, cracky. The other question, let me go back to the question. When I discovered I had a gift. So I discovered I had a gift at 6 years old, right? I could see things. I saw things that had already that had happened as if I was already there. It started off with the pastor who had an affair at church. Oh, I've been messy. It started off the pastor of my grandmother's church had an affair with a choir member. Of course, I did not physically see it. I wasn't upstairs when they had it. Okay. You said I won $5 on a scratch off because I did ask for some money. There you go. You need to ask for some, you need to say how much money you need. But listen, y'all. So let me tell y'all the story about when I realized I didn't know what it was. My grandmother realized I had a gift. Okay. You said I've been letting my confirmations build up. It's been several, less than a week already. All right. Well, I'll be live tonight in about an hour. But let me tell y'all about it. Y'all want the story time? So my grandmother, pastor at the time I was about 6, had an affair with a choir member in the church. Of course, he was married. The lady was not. They actually were physical in the how you say how do you manifest someone? We'll talk about that's something you'd have to come to my private training class for. Yeah. That's a little different because I need to know what's the dynamic of you manifesting this person. But it can happen. But let me finish the story. All right, hold on. So they had ended up having sex in the church. They had ended up having sex upstairs in the church. That's where people will eat at, right? That was a church dining hall. Now, nobody saw it, of course. Nobody was at church when it happened. However, the woman came up in from the for the front of the church. She was pregnant, right? So my grandmother and her friends was at home on the phone talking about it. Baby, my grandmother used the three-way. My grandmother was a fan of three-way. Okay. So they were talking about it. Again, nobody know. The woman came before the church and said she was pregnant. That's how they found out about the thing. But nobody, she never told them where she got pregnant at. Okay, she never. Hold on, y'all. Let me do an energy reset because the way I want to terrorize, the way I'm ready to terrorize these niggas is crazy. Hold on, y'all. Let me do a story. Let me do an energy reset because baby, the way I got into that shit, like I will haunt your dreams, motherfucker. Okay, hold on, y'all. Y'all, this is my energy reset. Well, let me do an energy reset real quick, baby, because the way I'm ready. Why you got a wall in there? What? Bring some in here. The way. Let me do an energy reset. Because, baby, the way. Hold on. Let me go and get that out my spirit. Let me go and get out that in my spirit, bitch. Because the way I'm ready to show you, better not to tell you who the fuck I am. Huh? Please allow me to reintroduce myself. Huh? All right. Let's reset our energy, y'all. Let's reset it. You can move them books off the corner. Oh, which one? So, did you put water in there? Marshall, like, put water in them. Yeah, ice and water. Ice and water, crack it. I love my friend. Them fires gonna be dead as fuck. She like, I put ice in there. Water and ice stink. All right. So the woman comes before the church. Hey, I've sinned. The Jimmy Swagger moment. I'm now with child. The man is married. So of course, my grandmother and her friends was all on the phone. Baby, I'm trying to figure out where did they do it at? Because of course, the wife was like, well, I don't know where he out here doing it because he go to work and he come home. So how did she get pregnant? Right? The woman, she has a lot of kids. At the time, she had a bunch of kids, about five or six kids when she got pregnant with this child. And so they like, well, is he going over her house? Because his wife is like, I don't know where he be at. So my grandmother was on the phone with her sisters and her friends trying to figure out where did the woman get pregnant at. And I walked in and I said, I said they was upstairs in the church. And my grandmother, I kind of want them pink ones. I don't know. Yeah, move that stuff out the way. I said they was upstairs at the church. And my grandmother looked at me and she was like, girl, get out of here. You don't know what you're talking about. I said, yes, I do. You ain't got to put all of them in here. I just want one in here. You can put them other ones somewhere else. I said they were upstairs at the church. It happened, where we eating at. And my grandma was talking about what happened. And I was so detailed in my description to her that she looked at me. I ain't never been exposed to nothing sexual. I was 6 years old. But because I was so detailed, like I could tell her what color suit the man had on and what time it was. And it was after choir practice and this, that, and the other, and whoop de whoop de whoop. And they waited till everybody left and blah, blah, blah. And my grandmother said, then my grandmother got mad at me because she thought that somehow, now my grandmother's talking about, how did you know? Like, you didn't see them? What you doing upstairs? And I'm like, I wasn't even at church. We ain't even in the choir. What are you talking about? We wasn't even there. My grandmother said, what else do you know? And I told my grandmother certain things. Now, she held on to that information. She did not tell nobody else. But as the people at the church started talking, of course, the church elders started interrogating the woman, interrogating the pastor. And as the details came out, and when the woman confirmed that she did get pregnant at the church, that baby was conceived somewhere in that church, you could have knocked my grandmother over with a feather. And she looked at me. She looked at me. I remember being there. She looked at me. We was at church. The woman got up and told the whole story in front of the church. And she said, okay. So my grandmother like kind of kept her distance from me, which is funny because when I was younger, when I was a baby, my grandmother told me that she was scared of me. When I was a baby, my grandmother said that she talking about, baby, you was a little long neck, weird looking baby. I was cute. She said, but you would just stare at me. She said, and the stare you would give me was unlike nothing for a child your age. You were literally an infant. She said, it's like you could see through me. She said, so my grandmother said for a while, baby, she would just kind of keep her distance from my ass as a baby. Y'all, I ain't even 1 years old yet. And she would just kind of look at me like, mm-mm. Right? She would look at me like, mm-mm. For instance, another thing is like they said, what'd you do if you knew what was coming? There was a hot teapot, a kettle of water that was sitting on the table. I was a little girl, like I was a toddler, maybe 2 years old. And I went and I pulled at the thing. I'm a baby. And I didn't know it was some hot water, but I pulled at the thing and then I pulled at the what is it, the tablecloth? And as I pulled the tablecloth, the hot water came and I turned my head. Right? I turned my head. So there is to this day, I'm 45 years old and there's still a scar it's on this side of my body. There's still a scar. I turned, as the hot water came down, I turned my head. I shielded myself and I leaned over for the hot water to hit my side. And even with that story, my mother tells the doctor said that's crazy that she was that small and knew to turn her head, right? And knew I was playing and knew like, hey, guess what? Turn that head and let that water come down. And it had scarred me on my body, but it did not get my face. What else? Once my grandmother realized that I'm like I be knowing, my grandmother started asking me church business. Come on, Charlene Naomi Wittenberg, with your messy tail. My grandmother started asking me church business. Yeah, she started I know all the business. Deacon Perry, listen, I knew all the business. My grandmother started asking me stuff. And then like somehow one of her friends like found out or heard her asking me something. And they were like, why you keep asking that girl that stuff, Chain? They used to call her Chain. Chain, why you keep asking them girl them questions? That's crazy. My grandmother said she has discernment. They said, my grandmother said, don't tell me how she be doing. But that girl be knowing she has discernment. Now, I grew up thinking I had something called discernment. It's not discernment. Right? Discernment is like you kind of know people. I had visions. I saw what was coming. There was prophets that would come, people that would come to the church. I remember getting a whooping because I wouldn't let this lady touch me. But you know how you get lined up. She couldn't touch me. My grandmother told me, go up there and let somebody pray for you. You can't touch me. No, if that's a whooping I'm gonna take, I'm gonna go ahead and take it. You can't. It was something in that woman. I'm not gonna say it was nothing demonic, but it was a false prophet. You can't touch me. You're not gonna touch me. And that woman wanted me to go down so bad. And my grandmother was like, I'm gonna whoop you, but then go and get the switch because she not gonna touch me. Huh? I remember there was a man, I was about I want to say 5, and my little cousin was 3. I knew it. I felt it. I knew it. I saw it on her. I've seen demons on people in church. I've seen people come into church and I saw a demon on them. And I would snub before the one people start acting up. I would nudge my grandmother and be like, hey, that lady about to start clowning. That lady about to start some mess in here. And sure enough, a lady came in that was possessed. She was from the neighborhood. She did not go to the church. She came in and started running around the church, and the look in her eyes was crazy. The pastor that they had at the time didn't know what to do with her. I told my grandmother, I said, you got to hey, y'all got to lay hands on her. I said, y'all got to take her down right here, right now. Y'all got to lay hands on her. Yeah, yeah. Now, let me tell you when I knew I saw, I've known enough to try to stop things from happening. Now, that is when I started pulling back on my gifts. That's when I didn't want to see it no more because just like I see messy stuff and fun stuff, I saw bad things, right? I had a best friend named Summer. Summer, we were 11 years old. The summer we were turning 12, and we were at a church revival together. And that night, I wanted Summer to come and spend the night at my grandmother's house. I was so adamant. I said, please, please, please. We asked her pimp mother, her grandmother, can she please come spend the night with me? I was so adamant. Summer ended up going home that night. Her father killed her. When my mother woke me up the next morning to tell me what had happened to Summer, I had already saw it. I already knew. And my mother was like, wait a minute, did you hear the phone call? Like, how did you know you was in here asleep? I had already saw it happen. I tried to stop it. I knew something was gonna happen this summer. Huh? I be knowing. When I tell you I be knowing, I be knowing. Listen, the way I be catching people up on foolishness when I'm dating, I be knowing. A lot of times God showed me this person ain't for you and I still go with it because I be knowing. And then when things happen, I can't be mad about it. I be knowing. So now, the craziest thing, I mean, I've always told people about this stuff, but they just feel like oh man, coach, yo, oh no, Misty, not Misty, because I wasn't coaching them. They be like, oh, girl, you be having the best advice. No, I be knowing. I told my homegirl, I said, your baby daddy ain't shit. I need you to stop having babies with him. She couldn't tell me nothing. I said, this person ain't for you. Leave him alone. She kept having babies with him. Now this man is a registered sex offender. He was a pedophile. Luckily, he didn't touch her children, but he touched somebody else's. I told her that. And oh, she was like, what she said, oh, you said I joined the live again? Okay, that's fine. Well, if I got moderators that can find me, they said I joined my live again. A fake page is joining live, y'all. It's not me. If somebody reach out to y'all, that's not me, okay? Understand. All right. So if my moderators can find that fake page real quick and go ahead and block them, I would appreciate it. Okay. But I tell people about it. Thank you, Kay. I tell people about it. You said, do I think Zenny Pooh has the same gift? Yes, she does. Zenny does have the same gift. Zenny, listen, animals love Zenny Pooh. When they told me that girl was at the daycare, when that girl went to daycare and caught a whole rabbit and sat down and the rabbit didn't bother her, huh? Sat down and caught a whole rabbit. I said, here we go. Zen sees things as well. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Art from Venus. Yeah. So, any other questions about my gift? The hardest thing I ever done or ever did was expose myself to y'all. That's the hardest thing I ever did with my gift is expose myself to y'all. Um, let's go ahead and debunk something real quick. People think that I just be knowing everything. Listen, when people think that when I come into contact with them, that I just know everything about them. No, God only reveals to me things that I need to know. I do not know. Listen, you said, is there one reading that changed you or one that you remember? What you mean? One that changed me how? A reading? Um, I'll tell you about the reason why I don't like doing fertility. Hmm? All right, let me tell you about the one I'll never forget. Two reasons I'll never forget. Hold on. So the first one is messy. I'll never forget this one. I had a lady who called me about her husband. And she said, I need to know who my husband cheating with. I know he cheating with somebody. I just need to know where I just need to know how to find out he cheating. I said, oh, that's easy. I said, go look in his work truck. She said, how you know he got a work truck? I even never tell you what he did. I said, why did you call me? Go look in his work truck. I said, lift up the clipboard in his work truck and you'll find another phone. She said, what? She said, I know you lying. I said, go ahead and do it. I said, you want to keep me, you want to hold on the phone, or you want to call me back? She was like, no, I'm about to do this right now. So sure enough, she went outside. She had me on speakerphone. She said, I know you lying. She found another phone. It was like a burner phone. I said, okay. And she said, well, what's the passcode to the phone? I said, try your birthday. Sure enough, it was her birthday. Ain't that crazy? The burner phone he used to contact other women was her birthday. Hmm. And she was like, my family been telling me to leave him, and I never should have married him. I said, he definitely married you for upward mobility. He married you for the money and the property that your family owns. She said, how do you know my family owns property? So now she's thinking, oh, I must have looked her up. I said, ma'am, ain't nobody got time to look you up. I'm trying to go to Juicy Crab. That was before I had weight loss surgery and I could really eat. Huh? That's before I had weight loss surgery, baby. I can get down to get down. Girl, I'm trying to get a weekend special. I said, you come from a good family. Who does it? I said, he a Rolling Stone. She's like, you're right, he is. So we talking on the phone, and the more we talk, the more things are revealed to me. And she was like, "But this divorce gonna be messy." I said, "What divorce?" She said, "What you mean, what divorce? It's my husband." I said, "Oh, y'all not legally married." She said, "What you mean? We are legally married. I got the wedding pictures. I got the marriage certificate." I said, "He can't be legally married to you because he's still married to somebody else." She said, "What?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "You the third wife." She said, "Wait, what?" She said, "I never told you that he had been divorced before." I said, "You don't have to tell me. That's why you called me." And she said, "What you mean the third wife?" I'm the second one. I said, "No, you're not. He's still legally married to somebody else." She said, "In what state?" I said, "If he's still legally married to a woman in Atlanta, in Georgia." I said, "He's still legally married to a woman in Georgia. They never got it taken care of." I said, "He also has a son She was like, "Oh my God!" She said he goes out. He swear me down. He got to go out there for work purposes out to somewhere in Georgia, and he goes out there once a week. He said his job takes him there once a week, and he have to spend the night overnight. She said, "I'm so sick of him that I want him out my area and out my face anyway because we ain't getting along." I'm gonna tell you about three reasons that changed me. This is the first one. And this is like I saw everything clear as day. And she was just like, I said, no, it's a little boy. I said the little boy is no more older than 10 and he played baseball. That woman dropped the phone. She dropped the phone. She said, my husband loves baseball. He always said if he ever had a son, because to her knowledge, he didn't have any children. I said, oh yeah, he got a son. I said, he got a son in Georgia. I said, and that little boy played baseball. Right? She said her husband sit and watch baseball all day long if he can. So she like, this is too much. I said, go ahead and look him up. I said, go ahead and look him up in Georgia. I said, his first wife was in one of the Carolina. She said, you absolutely right. His first wife from South Carolina. I said, and that one is done and over with, but he married a woman from Georgia. I said, and that marriage was never annulled. It was never nothing. I said, then he came and married your ass. So I think this woman was like in Alabama or something. She was like, what? So she was like, so she called her sister. Now she got her sister in on it. And I said, well, go ahead and do your homework and call me back. I'm about to go in and order my food. I go and order my food. I'm yum, 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 yum. I'm eating. I'm making my business. Boom, the phone ring. She called me back. She said, I can't believe this shit. She said, I looked it up. He is still legally married to somebody. I said, so therefore, there is no divorce. I said, you married somebody under fault. Your marriage doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about him trying to take your property or take your house because he moved in with her, right? She built him up. I said, you don't have to worry about none of that because y'all not legally married. She was like, oh my God, thank you so much. And I was like, you're welcome. She was like, my people ain't never going to believe this. I said, it is what it is. And I, mind you, I never heard back from her again, but she gave me all my confirmations then. The second one that kind of changed me, this is the reason why I try to stay away from fertility. I had a woman who sent me a text message, and a lot of y'all done did this. So a lot of y'all asked me questions trying to test my gangster. And it's funny because y'all ask me questions like, oh, I'm gonna ask her something I already know the answer to, but I'm gonna see if she know. And the funny part is I don't even answer that question. I call you out on what you do, and I say, you really trying to test my gangster. You really trying to test my gangster. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with my energy. Right? So I had a lady who hit me up. She did a text question, and she said her question was, "Am I having a baby? When am I gonna have a baby?" I said, "You not." So she sent me back this long text message. I know you was a fraud. I've been watching you. I knew you ain't know what you was talking about. I'm pregnant right now. I said, that ain't the question you asked me. You said, am I having a baby? And I told you no. What you mean? I'm pregnant right now. I'm in my second trimester. I said, I'm sorry to say it. I said, I hate to say this to you, and I know you ain't trying to hear this. I said, but God never told you to get with that man. I said, that baby ain't gonna make it here. God not gonna allow that baby to make it here. I said, because that man is horrible that you with. He ain't gonna love you. He ain't gonna love that baby. And you doing this out of spite. And she, oh baby, she cussed me out. She cussed me out to the highest of cussing, the highest of festivities. Oh, I'm a fraud. I'm gonna tell everybody I know not to mess with you. I'm gonna make a whole video about you. I said, okay. I said, this is why I don't do fertility. About a year, I told her, I said, you're going to lose that baby. You're going to lose that man. And when you come into your senses, God is going to bless you. Even with her cussing me out and calling me everything but a child of God, I said, you're going to lose that baby. You're going to lose that man and everything. And once you come to your senses, God will send you somebody for you and you will have a successful pregnancy. But hey, do what you got to do. Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. She damn near 6 months pregnant. Bloop, bloop, bloop. A year later, a year later, probably over a year later, that same woman texts me. I still had her text message in my phone. She said, you probably don't remember me. She said, but I called you a fraud and everything. You told me I was going to lose my baby. I said, let me call you. She said, okay. I called her. She said, you told me I was going to lose my baby. And I cussed you out and everything like that. I was so ready to make videos. My friends told me to leave it alone. She said, and sure enough, less than 30 days later, she said, this was a perfect, normal pregnancy. I lost my son. She said, and when I lost my son, I lost that man and I lost my mind. She said, then she said, so instead of looking at what you said, she said, I then took what you said as a curse. Now I'm looking at you as a witch. So now oh, she's a witch. She do witchcraft. She's demonic. She caused me to lose my baby. She said, I did not believe in what you said until my husband came my way. Come on, somebody. She said, until I met my husband. Come on, somebody. She said, until I met my husband. She said, I'm proud to say it. Before she could say it, I heard the baby in the background. I said, and that's your daughter. Come on, somebody. She said, so I want to apologize to you. She said, and I also want to tell you thank you. I said, you're more than welcome. And that's it. I never heard back from her either. But that was one of the reasons why I don't do fertility. Huh? Because every time they answer, ain't the answer. Hmm? That you want to hear. Third one. And then I'm going to let y'all ask me some questions. Third one. The third reading, I'll never forget. It's another woman and another cheating husband. This one was in South Carolina. Oh shit. Now this one was in South Carolina. Let me take a step. Baby, this one was funny as hell. I said I'm gonna stop talking to women about their men because this one went too far. Hold on. Mm. One more time for the one time. Hold on. Mm-mm. Now, this one I was at the nail shop. I was at the nail shop and I had an appointment. I'm calling my appointments. And baby, I'm doing what I'm doing. What's up, Raquel? I'm calling my appointments and I'm doing what I'm doing. I get a woman on the phone. She say my husband is cheating. Huh? No, that ain't the one I put on. Oh, you talking about the one I put on speaker? The one that was trying to kill her husband? No, that ain't. I forgot about her. Listen, this lady called me. I'm at the nail shop. I'm getting my toes done. She said, yeah, I got to read. And I just want to know, is my husband cheating on me? I said, yep, he cheating on you. The lady is in the healthcare field. She probably like a CNA or something like that, or STNA. She not a nurse. I said, and she works in the evenings or whatever. And she said, what? I said, yeah, she work about second shift. I said, but she be off during the weekends. She said, really? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, what area do she live in? I said, now, mind you, I didn't know what state this woman was calling from. I didn't know what her neighborhood looked like. I said, you live in an up and coming neighborhood with houses. I said, this woman lives in a trailer park. I said, this trailer park is about 3.2 miles. Listen, these readings be crazy. I said, this trailer park is about 3.2 miles away from from your husband's job. She said, excuse me? So she started thinking about where her husband's job was in relation to the trailer park. She said, you're right. If you come out my husband's job and you go to I guess heading down the road, you come out, you go to the right, you heading up the road, you'll see the doggone trailer park, right? Hold on. She said, well, how can I confirm that this is true? Because right now it's a bunch of hearsay. I told her, I said, your husband started going to the gym at night. That lady said, wait a damn minute. I think the lady doing I even think the lady who was doing my toenails looked up. I said, tell me, am I lying or am I flying? Your husband started going to work out at the gym at night. She said, you are absolutely right. There's no way you would have known that. He then started going at night. He said he goes at night because it ain't that many people. I said, have you noticed a change in your husband's physique? Because he been working out for months. She said, now that you come to the stage, she said, no, he still got the same man titties. He still got the same beer belly and them small ass legs. I said, does your husband come home smelling fresh? Irish Spring fresh. She said, yes, he does. But he tells me he takes a shower at the gym. So he don't, he don't want to come home, drive home with all that sweat. I said, ma'am, he's working out, but it ain't that Planet Fitness. Now, what I don't know is as I'm talking to her, she's getting in her car. I know I did notice a change in the phone, like it switched over to the car, but I'm not paying attention. I'm in the middle of getting my nails done. I don't know what this woman is doing. I don't, just none of my business are because she had a 15-minute call, right? So she called, she talked to me. She says, anything else you can tell me? What is this woman's name? I say, here's the deal. I said, I'm not going to tell you this woman's name. I'm not going to tell you where she works at because she is an innocent party in this. What she mean? I'm a married woman. I said, you, and that's when I started coaching her. I said, you cannot be upset with the woman. And this ain't nobody you know. This ain't nobody that know you. This ain't your cousin. This ain't your sister. This ain't your god sister. This is somebody that's totally whatever. I said, he did not tell that woman he was married until he had to tell her why he can't do certain things. I said, that woman has children at her house. I am not going to tell you that woman's name. I said, ma'am, you have the means to find out exactly who this woman is. She said, you're absolutely right. She said, because I work in the healthcare system too. She said, so I can find out who she is, her license number, whatever, whatever. I said, we're not doing that. Right? So boom. So listen, So she talking to me. She's asking me some other questions, right? What she was doing is she was keeping me on the phone. She pulls up to this man's job. I hear him. He told my, hey baby, what's up? She said, get in the car. I'm on the phone like, oh shit. She said, get in the car. So he get in the car and I was like, ma'am, I'm gonna go ahead and hang up. She said, no, you stay on this phone. She asked him, she said, you been cheating on me? He was like, man, what you talking about? Ain't nobody cheating on you, blue, blue, blue. And who on the phone? He said, don't worry about who on the phone. She said, are you cheating on me? Are you cheating on me with a woman who work in the healthcare field? He said, my baby, what is you talking about? Bloop, 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 bloop. I'm not doing none of that. So she starts driving. He said, baby, where you going? I'm not on no lunch break. She goes out of the parking lot of his job. He works construction and she makes a right. And she keeps going up the road and she questioning him. Does this woman have kids? You not going to no doggone, you're not going to no doggone gym. You playing in my face. When I met you, you had nothing. And it's funny because there's an underlying theme with a lot of the women I talk to that are successful. They meet the man when they had nothing and they bring and they build them up. Let me tell you something. She said, that's okay. You gonna show me where the hoe live. Baby, let me tell you something. That woman might have got probably a half a mile when he realized that she was going to that when she was driving to that goddamn uh 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 that trailer park. My man jumped out the car. She had me on speakerphone. All I heard, you heard the door, you heard her say, where is you going? He was like, man, like he went from, oh, baby, baby, please, baby, baby, please. No, no, don't this, that, and the other. What are you talking about? I would never cheat on you. I love you, everything you did to me. So, man, you crazy as fuck. Let me out this car. This nigga jumped out of a moving car. And I'm sitting at the nail shop like this. I know the fuck you lying. She like, what? She wasn't driving slow either. No, the fuck she wasn't. No, she wasn't. Uh-uh. She said that motherfucker had skid marks. She wasn't driving slow. Listen, this all happened in like a matter of minutes. Oh no, she wasn't driving slow, no ma'am. She said, she said his ass. She said his ass needed medical attention. You hear me? Medical attention. You hear me? Jumped out of a moving car, baby. When he realized where that woman was going, that motherfucker hopped out that car. Listen, he stopped, dropped, and rolled. He had skid marks, was missing skin, all kind of shit, and jumped out that goddamn car. And baby, she was like, "Girl, I knew you was cheating." So then she puts the car in reverse. I said, "Ma'am, at this moment, I got to hang up. At this moment, I can be held liable. Listen, I could be held responsible. I don't want to be a witness. I don't know what the police department in your city is serving up. Is it Pepsi and lamb chop? Is it a Snicker and a Sprite? I don't want to be on the first 48. Ma'am, I got to hang up." I hung up. I hung the fuck up. She did now. She did call me back. She apologized. And at some point, she did tell him, Coach Misty said it. Don't stop giving them people my name. Stop giving these men my name. At some point, she told him, Coach Misty said it. Okay. Now, needless to say, she did. She did divorce her husband. She did. I never heard back from the first lady, right? That had the husband that was married. She didn't have to divorce nothing because they was never legally married. But she did divorce her husband. Y'all want to hear another story? Yeah. About a husband and wife? Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Let me tell y'all another one. Huh? Okay, listen. All right. Let me tell you about another story. Now, there was a husband and a wife. Of course, this is how it goes. The wife always end up watching me first, right? Of course, the wife be watching me first. The husband finds out about who Coach Missy is because the wife, y'all, be glued to the goddamn screen. Yeah. And the night and the time of night I go on, so y'all be in the bed watching Coach Misty. Huh? Y'all be in the bed with the shenanigans watching Coach Misty. And girl, you weren't around this. She's in my in shape, putting her ass in there. Girl, you was not around this. Shut up. So I had a woman call me. They were from Philly. If you still watch me, shout out to you. I had a woman call me and she was like, yeah, girl, I want to ask you some questions. Da, 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 ba, 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 ba. And it's funny because y'all think y'all want me to read y'all Yes, thank you, friend. Listen, y'all want me to read y'all, but y'all don't think I know what the fuck is really going on. That be the funny part. Y'all ask me the bullshit questions, but I read the real readers when I read you. So boom, let me tell y'all. So she called me, yes, girl. I got all these questions about my husband. Me and my husband have a business. You know, them girls from Philly talk. Me and my husband have a business, and you know what I'm saying, these kids and stuff. She was like, but the first question, she said it real cute. She was in front of him. The first question I want to know is, do my husband love me? I said, with all his heart. I said, he loves you with all his heart. I said, he loves you more than words can express. I said, you are the only girl for him. And she said, that's what I'm talking about, period. And so he heard me. She had me on speakerphone. And he was like, babe, I tell you this all the time. You did not need Coach Missy to tell you that. I said, that man love you more than life itself. Right? She said, she told me, period. All right, well, let me go ahead and walk out the room because I don't want to disturb him with my reading. You know what I'm saying? Because I got these questions to ask you about these kids. So once she was out that room, once she was away from her husband, right? Listen. Listen, listen. Once she was away from her husband, she started asking me some other questions. And I said, you know what's funny to me? Now we're talking about business. She asked me about the business they started. She asked me something about her kids. She had a child. They had a child going off to college. She had been with this man since high school. I said, it was crazy to me. I said, you got me on speakerphone? I said, you got me on, you know I'm gonna get with your ass. I said, you got me on speakerphone? She said, I said, can anybody hear me? She said, I said, you know what's crazy about the shit? She's like, what, girl, what? Tell me what's going on? What's going on? What's this, that, and the other? I said, you know what's wild? I said, you don't love your husband the way he loved you. Now, Coach Misty, why would you say that? I said, because you got a boyfriend. That woman almost dropped that motherfucking phone. All like, that shit stopped. She said, what? I said, yeah. You got a man. You got a man. I said, you been had one. I said, you did not grew. Now here's the real read. I said, you outgrew your husband a long time ago. Huh? I said, the only reason you started this business is because you want to get him prepared. I said, once your second child go off to college, you're gonna leave him. She said, oh my God. I knew you was the truth. Girl, how the fuck you know that? I said, because I be knowing. I be knowing, ho. Just like that, I be knowing, ho. I said, stop playing with that man. I said, if you don't want him, leave him. I said, he's a good man. Y'all just not going at the same level. I said, you're trying to force him up this ladder. I said, he's comfortable where he's at. He doesn't have to have the big shiny things, right? He's comfortable where he's at. He don't have to have all that. I said, this is you that wants something different. You guys have outgrown each other and it is okay. All right, friend, we just tell you how to get a read. Go to iamcoachmissy.com and scroll down to where it says how to get a private reading with me. Boom. Or you can come. I'm gonna do readings live tonight. So anyway, we talking right now. Y'all like, okay, that's a cute story, but where's the kicker? A week later, I don't get that many men who book with me. Well, back then I did. Now it's probably about 80-20%, right? Um, here's the deal. Here's the kicker. I get a reading. Somebody books a reading with me, right? I call, it's a man. And he said, yeah, I just need a 5-minute reading because I ask you a couple quick questions. And before he could ask me anything, I said, does your wife know you calling me? He said, oh, I'm not trying to flirt with you. I said, oh, no, I know who you are. He said, what you mean you know who you are? I said, I know who you are. Me and this man had never spoken before. I said, I had a reading with your wife. I had a reading with your wife a week ago. He said, wow, you really do be knowing. I said, absolutely. I said, so what's up? He said, I only got one question. He said, is my wife cheating on me? This is what I hate about the job. Because if I don't tell you what God has shown me or what I know, I carry it with me and it weighs me down. And I asked him, I said, hold on, wait. He said, listen, he said, I've watched you because my wife watches you. He said, I've watched you because my wife watches you. He said, then I went on and started watching you on my own. He said, and one thing I know about you, he said, you are going to tell the truth. You are going to tell these people what it is, right? What it is that they need to know. He said, so tell me, is my wife cheating on me? Baby, listen, when I tell you I was living in my loft then, baby, I was pacing the room. Hmm? It feel more. I was pacing the goddamn room. Oh God. I said, your wife love you and she love kids. He said, again, he said, you didn't already answer without answering. He said, I got a feeling about who it is. He said, I need you to tell me. He said, the way my wife trusts you, he said, I trust you too. No, it don't come back every time. I just hold on to it. He said, is my wife cheating on me? I said, yes. He said, is it my friend? I said, yes. He said, it's been going on. I said, 17 years. Damn. He said, okay. I said, now you got to tell me what you about to do. He said, no, I'm not going to do anything to her. Yeah. He said, I'm not going to do nothing to her. I'm not going to do anything that'll jeopardize I'm not going to do anything. Y'all, somebody help Spasmatic in the thing. He said, I'm not going to do anything that's going to jeopardize my freedom or, or jeopardize my children or anything like that. He said, now, oh boy can catch this fade. He said, I'm not going to do nothing to her. I said, okay. He said, I want to thank you. That was the longest, shortest call I ever had. He said, I want to thank you. He said, the signs was in my face the whole time. He said, they even started a business together. I said, yes, they were starting their business. So when they did move on, they are building their own foundation. He said, I'm thankful for the time I spent with her. He said, I'm thankful for my children. He said, I'm going to do some healing on my own. He said, and there's somebody out there for me. I said, absolutely. He said, well, I want to thank you so much. And he said, don't worry, I'll never tell her. He said, I know I got to wait. I'm just going to confront them with it. He said, I'll never tell her that it was you. I said, well, if you do, you do. You don't, you don't. It's whatever. He said, I'll never tell her it was you. He said, but I do want to thank you for everything. I said, you're welcome. And that was that. So, y'all, these are some of the stories. This is some of the stuff I go through. Y'all be like, I want to read it. I need to read it. I always tell people, what you do if you knew what was coming. What other questions do y'all have for me about my gift? Huh? What other questions? Someone says, what happened when you don't tell it? Hold on one second. What's up, Crystal? Oh, what's up? Okay, so a lot of women that watch you, they also buy readings for their friends, right? Mm-hmm. And way back when I started watching you, I jumped in on a text message special, and that text message special, I paid for it in full, but the text message special was for me and a good friend. Mm-hmm. I remember that. Baby, I sent you a list, a slew of questions, and they were mainly pertaining to my married friend. Well, one of them questions I asked you was, I asked you about, okay, so this friend of mine, her son has 11 possible children. Mm-hmm. He take care of, you know, she help her son take care of those kids. Mm-hmm. But one child in particular, I asked you if that child belonged to her husband. Now, way back when, I'm going to say some years and years before Coach Misty was even on the forecast, he said that one of her grandchildren had caught her husband looking at this lady's pictures in his phone. Uh-huh. And they screenshotted the picture. Hold on, Coach. It's on. Go ahead. They screenshotted the picture, mm-hmm, and showed it to her. Mm-hmm. But she didn't recognize this lady. Mm-hmm. So sometime from the time the grandbaby screenshotted the picture, mm-hmm, let's say almost a year passes. Okay. Okay. This same husband had a son that ended up going to prison. So this lady pops up at my friend's house. She says she's bringing my friend's husband grandbaby to see him. Mm-hmm. And that child was one of them kids I asked you about. And I remember I was at her house the last time that the lady and the child came there.
And the look on her face, I've never seen her look like this before. So
Yeah.
I couldn't pinpoint it. So I jumped in on a text message, Coach. Um,
I still got unlimited text messages, and I don't think people know that. I have it to where you can schedule it now. I have unlimited text messaging. I got a package where you can get unlimited text messaging.
y'all better get in. Don't go live with your friend business, cause baby, I'm finna tell y'all something. So I go to my friend. I say, anything you want me to ask my lady? And she said, as a matter of fact, I want you to ask her. And she named all the 11 possible grandchildren. And then she said, and ask her about the lady and the baby that come to my house. She said, because the older that baby get, the more that baby look like my husband. And baby, in the drop of the night, what do I get from Coach Misty? A return voice thing that tells me that the baby don't belong
To the
to the
son.
stepson.
It's her
The baby
husband's
belong
baby.
to the baby. Let me tell you something. I got so goddamn sick. I ain't lying with you. I can't make this up. I got I'm talking about physically ill.
Yeah.
I had to get on the couch. Coach, I'm talking about I immediately felt like I had came down with the flu. I'm talking about like in an instant.
Mhm.
When I listened to your response, I say, no, ain't no way. She been too good to this man. This man ain't have drawers, socks. He ain't have driver's license. They done been married 30 some years. I say to myself, I say, mm-mm. I'm talking to myself. I'm pacing the floor. Now this for my husband. I'm saying, no, no, Lord.
So what happened? How did she find out that that was her husband's baby?
Baby, you the one told her.
Did he ever admit to it?
She never said a word
She
to me.
ain't gonna say a word.
To this day, she ain't gonna say a
She
word.
ain't gonna say it. It's easier to believe. Listen, that's why a lot of y'all hoes don't call me back. Listen, when I started sending y'all them text messages, now I do text. I send y'all coupon codes and stuff. People be like, they don't want to text because guess what? I tell a lot of y'all the truth about these raggedy ass men. I tell you the truth about yourself, and now you don't want to fuck with me no more. That's fine.
So goddamn sick because not only was this his baby, he had the nerve to allow the woman to come to his wife's house and come up and through there to my that was his damn grandbaby.
Crystal, you know what I'm gonna do, right? Hang up. All right. Now that leads me to another story. So remember when I do two truths and a lie? Baby, we love two truths and a lie. That's one of the readings we gonna do tonight when I go live. I don't know when the fuck I'm gonna go live. Listen, two truths and a lie, huh? Okay, that's a good question. She said once we get to reading, are we able to change the outcome? Free will is a motherfucker. But I'm talking about that too. Let's talk about it. Two truths and a lie. Remember that one lady that called in when I was in my old house, the house I had before I moved here? Listen, remember the lady that called in and did the two truths and a lie? Oh yeah. And I told her that she had another sibling. Y'all remember that? I said, you gonna go to a family function. I gave her three scenarios. I said, you gonna go to a family function and you gonna find out that you got another sibling because she thought it was just her and her sister. I said, nah, you got a brother. Y'all remember that one? And she was all like, what? My daddy, this. And I said, who said it was your daddy? And she paused. Now, this was right on the live, and she paused. And she said, that's crazy. I said, what's crazy? She said, my father and my mother been getting into it. And my father told my mother, you need to tell these girls the truth. You need to tell these girls the truth about you. You need to tell them the truth. I said, the truth is you got a brother. Baby, everybody on that live lost it because y'all thought I was going to be like, oh, yeah, your daddy got some outside kids. I said, no, Ham, no, Sam, no, ma'am. It's your mama. I said, you have a brother. You hear me? I said, that brother was given to some people in the church that moved away. I said, that brother has resurfaced. You have a brother. Sure enough. Sure enough. What did that woman do? What did that woman do? Huh? What did she do? She called back and she said, my mother finally admitted that she has another child. I am not her oldest. That daddy said, you're going to stop playing with my girls. How many of y'all was on that call? How many of y'all remember? Come on, she confirmed it. She called in. She said, I got a confirmation for you. She said, my mother admitted that I am not her first child. She had a son. Baby, bow, 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 bow. Y'all, they was on that call. That was wild. Baby, listen, the way, the truth and the light. What do you mean? Now, listen, I'm going live. Listen, the way, let me change this for y'all. Let me show y'all how to get in line. Okay, we did the black magic, whatever. Let me show y'all how to get in line. I'm doing live readings today. I just need to get a little bit to eat. Hold on, y'all. Let me show y'all how to get in line. Boom. There, that's the thing. So you go to iamcoachmissy.com and you click on live readings. I'm gonna leave this up here for about 10 seconds. You can go ahead and screenshot that, and I'm gonna show you what it looked like. Go to iamcoachmissy.com and click the link in my bio. And we doing black magic manifestation sessions and live readings. All right, I'm gonna make this small for y'all. I'm gonna show y'all what it look like. Listen. When I tell you, I listen. The craziest. It's like I come up with these readings. I diagnose cars. I diagnose cars. I diagnose. We did Misty Motors. I do DNA night. Okay, DNA night. Baby, I didn't did. I talked to people about the visas. It's under my booking site under the 2025 packages. Listen. Oh, where's my babe? Y'all, what about that girl that did the Where's My babe? Huh? Listen. What you mean? How many? You only get one question on the text question. What about where's that girl that did the Where's My babe? Huh? It's not. You don't. It's not a code for your thing. You're gonna have to look in your receipts. Remember that. You remember that girl that called in for "Where's My babe"? I think they did get married. She called in for "Where's My babe," and I told her. I said, "You got to go out to the club." She was like, "No, Coach Misty, I don't want to go out to the club." I said, "You're gonna have to wear all white." She said, "I'm not wearing all white. I'm not going out to the club. I'm at home." I said, "Now here's the deal." She didn't tell me she was on her cycle. I said, "You got to go to the club. You got to wear all white." I said, the man of your dreams, the man that you have written down, the man that you want. Y'all remember that one? I said, he is going to stop you. It's going to look like that you have, like you may had an accident on your pants. He's going to notice it. I said, and that is your husband. So I told her when to go. She said, I'm not going to no club. I think she had to go like the next night. She said, I'm not going. That was about 2 years ago. She's like, I'm not going to no club. I'm not doing that. I'm on my cycle. Ain't nobody doing that, this, that, and the other. But she did it. She got up. She said she went at the last minute. She's like, this woman crazy, but I've been watching her. She put on all white. All white. Huh? She came back. She went to the club. As she was getting ready to walk out, a man standing over 6 feet, light brown, beautiful eyes, beautiful wavy hair. He had the brush waves, the good brush waves, with a tailored suit on. You said not the all white doing her cycle, but listen what I'm saying. He stopped her and he said, Miss, it looks like you got someone in the back of your pants. She said now the people who was there during that call, y'all confirm it for me. Y'all was watching it. She said she was embarrassed beyond belief. Like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Like this man really, oh my God, there's something on the back of my pants, but it wasn't. It was something that she had said it and it wasn't her cycle. She said, and when she looked up, he was everything that she had asked for. That woman, now she didn't call me right back with that confirmation. They went out on a couple dates. Y'all remember that? And she said, guess what? We engaged. The man owned real estate. He had no children. Everything that she had written down on her wish list, he was that. She said, had I not went out that night, had I not worn all white, I never would have met him. What? Listen, no, that's the other one. My other friend, Keisha. Keisha sent me that guy. Where Keisha text message at? Keisha sent me that. Now she became my friend through readings, right? So I got a client. She's now my friend. Her name is Keisha. She became my friend after we started doing readings, right? Let me show you her ring. Let me show you her ring. This is her ring. This is Keisha's ring. This is Keisha's ring. Keisha been my client for about 2 years. That's her ring. So me and Keisha done talked about a bunch of other stuff. Keisha was out here dating. She was divorced. She was dating. That's Keisha's ring. Keisha sent me that on February 9th. Keisha had ran into Keisha, if you watching, call in. Keisha had ran into a guy that she dated before that she tried to date, right? That they dated before and it just didn't work. Keisha was currently dating somebody else. Keisha was dating this younger guy. And I told her, I said, Keisha, leave that man alone. I said, that ain't for you. Not there's nothing wrong with him. That's just not the person for you. I said, Keisha, you about to get married. She was like, girl, I'm not about to get married. I said, yes, you are. I said, that ain't the one for you. Keisha called me. She's like, girl, this dude I used to talk to, he hit me back up again. He was so, girl, he's so boring. I said, Keisha, that's your man. She was like, girl, no, he's so boring and this and the other. I said, Keisha, that's the one. I said, listen. So we had this conversation. Hold on, y'all. When did we have this conversation? Hold on. We had the reading in June of last year. She had a reading with me in June of last year. And I told her, I said, I need you to date this man again. Leave that young one alone. Date this boring dude, because that's the one that's going to marry you. Huh? I told her when they was going to get married, I said, that man is going to take you to the Bahamas. I said, this man is going to take you to the Bahamas. I said, that man, so listen, we would talk about it. And I said, that man then had that ring. We talked about it. I said, that man didn't had that ring since January. So she did it. She said, you ain't never let me wrong. She said, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just go ahead and do what I'm supposed to do. She said, you ain't never let me wrong. So she dumped the young dude, started talking to him, right? The man, they went to go meet his family. I said, you about to get engaged. I said, you will be getting engaged right around Valentine's Day. She said, okay, coach. She said, okay, friend. And she laughing and all that shit, right? I got these text messages February 9th. She said, hey, friend, your jewel reading was on point. He had the ring since January. I told her she was going to go somewhere exotic. I ain't say Bahamas. She said, we had engaged this past Thursday in Puerto Rico. That's their engagement photos. And that's the ring. She called in with it. She called in with the confirmation. She said, had I not listened to you, I would have stopped talking to him right then and there. Now, let me say this before all y'all hoes get out. Oh my God, I need that type of reading. Understand this. I'm gonna say this to say that. The reason why a lot of the stuff ain't coming y'all way, y'all like, where my man at? Bitch, you're not healed. Huh? You're not healed. This woman was at a point where she was healed and she was ready for that. I said, boom, it's here. Okay. A lot of y'all not healed. Where my husband at? Bitch, you can't even keep a baby dad. Do you know what? You know what? You know what? Let me come on, somebody. Huh? Yeah, only tigers. Come on. So then when people come in and they do these confirmations, right? When they call in and y'all be watching me and people be like, oh my God, I want that. And then all of a sudden, all my y'all book a whole bunch of where's my bays. I go from having two where's my bays to 102. And then you get mad when I say, listen, y'all get mad when I say you don't have no bay. You get mad when I say you are what you eat. You get mad when I say you got to let that ugliness you holding for your ex, you got to let it go. You get mad when I say you are still a broken little girl who got daddy issues. You get mad when I say that because everybody's story ain't the same. Huh? Listen, y'all get mad about that. So don't everybody don't rush no. I ain't even got where's my bay up. Listen, don't get mad about that. When I read you, see the read, you want me to tell you something amazing. Oh God, somebody said, why don't you do a night call? Where's my husband? Everybody ain't wife material. Everybody ain't gonna have a husband. Some of you hoes just gonna have cats, and that's just what it is. So I would hate for you to pay $25, $30 to call me for me to tell you that you're gonna be alone. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. This, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Some of y'all ain't meant to have a husband. That's just it. That's all. You're not gonna get married. Huh? Huh? That's just it. Okay. She said nothing wrong with cats. Somebody asked me, how can I change your reading? So listen, I got a lady who called me. She said, and if you watching this, ma'am, you can pipe in, you can chime in. Let's talk about it. I have a lady who calls me and she gets reading. You need a where's my bag reading? I do that all the time. Where's my business? I do that. Where's my customers? I do money readings all the time. We do money readings all the time. If you want to listen, you get two specific and detailed questions for $20. If you want to go ahead and ask a question, you said you can't have some people have life partners and not husbands, right? But that if I do it, where's my husband reading? And I say you're not gonna have a husband, you've already tuned me out. Okay. So here's the deal. Listen, I have a lady. Let's talk about free will. Free wheel. Go to iamcoachmissy.com or click the link in my bio. Let me show y'all real quick. If y'all go to my TikTok, hold on. If you go back and click the link in my bio, and listen, y'all, this is me. This is my only page. I don't have all, listen. You say I be booked up and do. So listen, y'all. If you go ahead and click it where it say the links, it say 3 more links. All you got to do is click the top one. It's the link tree. Go ahead and click the top link in my bio, and it's going to take you here, right? If you want to get a reading for tonight, go ahead and click that. If you want to get my black magic stuff, that's fine. I'm also doing a private tutoring. I'm doing a private ritual class because you always want to know how to do shit anyway. I'm doing a private ritual class, but my best bet, you can either get this from going to imcoachmissy.com or clicking the first link in my bio, right? This is what you do. Or click the first link in my bio, go to imcoachmissy.com, right? I got the black magic products, all that stuff. If you need to talk to me privately, you can do that right here. There's a portion that says talk to me privately. But let's talk about the lady who likes to use free will. I have a client who calls in from time to time. Okay. And she says to me, I want to know what's coming because my favorite question is, what would you do if you knew what was coming? Right? What would you do if you knew what was coming? So who don't want to know who was done? Hey, y'all, let's go ahead and block this lady. Stop playing in my lives, girl. Y'all can send gifts too. Tap that screen. Let's get up to 50,000 likes and you can send me a gift. I like gifts too. The fuck? So the lady called me and she says, I'm having issues with my business. My money doesn't seem to be flowing right. And now somebody is trying to steal my LLC from up under me. I said, what? She said, yeah. She said, so I need to know what to do about that. And I told her, I said, how long you been having problems? She said, sometimes it feel like it's one thing after another. I said, wow, that's crazy, right? Work, right? And she said, I get readings from you and you tell me what's coming. And so I do things to avoid what's going to happen. Put your lip gloss on. She said, I take actions. Now, some things is a warning. Malika went to carnival. I said, Malika, watch yourself. Somebody gonna try to get you pregnant at carnival. That's a warning. That's a warning. I didn't say, Malika, you're gonna conceive your first baby at carnival. If I tell Malika, hey, watch out, watch who you lay down with. Somebody gonna poke holes in a condom, and they listen, and they are going to, try to get you pregnant. And she said, well, I'm just not going to have sex because I don't even want to play games. That's a warning. That's a warning before the storm. I'm telling you to prevent the foolishness. Mm-hmm. But if I call, listen, yeah, I didn't call birth dates and everything. But if I say, listen, if I say, Malika, your son will be conceived at carnival, and then she says, oh, I don't want no baby, right? I say, hey, God said it's time for you to have a baby. Your son will be conceived at carnival, and you and the father will live happy ever after. And she says, you know what? I'm gonna change that. I'm not gonna have a baby. Then don't call me in 10 years talking about how can I get some fertility oil because I can't get pregnant. Mm-hmm. So there's a difference between a warning and like what's like this is what this is. So the lady who called me said, when you tell me things are going to happen, so if I tell her anything that's going to happen that she doesn't like, not a warning, but things that are going to happen that I see that's happening and she don't like them, she does everything she can to avoid them. But she doesn't understand why her business is failing. She doesn't understand why her money is funny. You know why your situation is what it is because you have taken matters into your own hands. You have changed your trajectory of your future. They talking about it's that's Coach Shay in the back. Mm, huh? And you wonder why your shit not adding up. Not adding up. How many women do I get when they say, where's my baby? And I say that this house. Y'all remember that one woman? Remember the one woman? I told her to go to this certain store. I said, go to this corner store after work. It's like a store in the shopping plaza, right? Yeah. I said, you got to be at this store between 4:15 and 4:30 p.m. There is a man that's going to pull up in a Cadillac, but the plates are going to be from out of town. He is here working. I remember that story. I said, he is there working out of town. That is your babe. That is your husband. That is your man. Mm-hmm. What did she do? She didn't go. She did go. No. What happened? I told her, get out the car. Speak to him. Remember? She saw him. She saw him. And she said, "You're right. I went to that store." She said, "I saw the car. I saw the plates. I saw the man." I said, "And what happened?" We were all sitting on the edge of our fifth seats. I said, "What's happening? What happened?" She said, I didn't get out the car. I said, "What?" She watched this man. He was already in the store. Listen, yeah, it was a liquor store. She watched that man come out. She said he was even my type. Get in his car. And he left. She just sat there. She said, "I was too scared to get out the car." I said, "What?" So then guess what she did for the next couple days? She kept trying to go back. Listen, she kept trying to go back to the same store at the same time. And she never saw him again. Huh? And she never saw him again. She was like, remember, she kept going back to the store and she never saw him again. I told her the license. I even told her the first three letters in the license plate. She said that was him. God showed me the first three letters of the license plate. That was him. And she never saw, she even saw a car that she thought was him in traffic and started following the car. I said, "Girl, you crazy. You going to jail." I'm not taking readings right now, Ariel. Hold on to that. I gotta get me a little lunch. I gotta get me a little tea or something. I'm not doing ordering. I'm just talking to y'all right now. Ain't that crazy work? Huh? Huh? Or should I just go ahead and open up the line for readings now? What are we doing? Did y'all order readings or not? Did y'all order readings? Timing ain't everything. Listen, it's about obedience. Obedience is everything. Obedience is everything. No, I do need to eat first. Fuck out of here. I'm gonna give y'all, listen, I'm gonna give y'all 36 minutes. Huh? Yes, you go to a website, you go to listen. Yeah, let me go ahead and get it because I feel like we about to have a problem on our hands, huh? Listen, obedience is everything, y'all. I need y'all to start being shut the fuck up. I need y'all to start being obedient to stuff, right? Yeah, obedience. Obedience is everything. Hey, anytime God tell me not to do something, God say, "Hey, don't do that," and I do it. Listen, I already know. When God tell me don't do some shit, I don't do it. No ham, no Sam, no man. We're not doing that. Knock it off. Knock it off. Obedience equals abundance. We always say that. Knock it off. Huh? Knock it off. It's been so many times that I've been asked to go to parties I didn't go to, only to find out that somebody spiked my homegirl drink. Huh? So many, and then the times that I do go against God's will, baby, He always let me have it. I sometimes I just have to laugh. Sometimes I don't do nothing but laugh. I'm like, "Lord, you told me not to go there. Let me sit down." Yeah, you said I remember when you told that girl her baby was at the corner store. I am going to be back on live at the top of the hour. Let me get some tea. Let me take this tight ass dress off, baby. Let me put on something comfortable. I'm not answering no questions right now. What this look like? I ain't doing no yes or no's. I'm not one of them girls. Energy costs. It costs to turn on the lights at your house. You understand me? This is good old energy. Good old energy. Okay. So go to I am Coach Missy. Okay. You said when he told you not to get that lobster and pasta, and you did. Listen, God always listen. God always get me together real fast, real quick. Huh? He said, "Sit down some damn where." Oh, but baby, the best of the best. Oh my God. Sometimes I don't want to hear it. Baby, when I'm dating somebody, as I look back over my life, when I'm dating somebody, ooh, them some of the best stories. Oh shit! The one time I walked in on my homegirl brother getting head. Y'all, can I tell that story real quick? Can I tell that story real quick? Now this ain't no reading. This is about me. Oh, let me tell you something. When I tell you God be telling me to show up and take a sip. Hmm? Take a sip. Mm. The year was the year was 2005. Now I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. This shit funny. I was dating Poo Poo's brother. I don't know. Listen, go to iamcoachmissy.com and go to book a live reading for tonight. It was Poo Poo's brother. Okay. I can't even remember his name now, but the sister name was Poo Poo. I was staying in the projects. I was in college. Okay, listen, if you go to the website, go to iamcoachmissy.com, sign up for the live readings. Go ahead and get in line for tonight. Go to iamcoachmissy.com and sign up for the live readings. I also have a private ritual class that's happening May 3rd and my Black Magic special oil. All right. So y'all go check this out while I'm getting something to eat. But I'm gonna leave y'all with this story now. I'm gonna hang up. Jamie, you need to go ahead and send us an email. Go back to the site and submit an email so Kai and them can fix it. I was dating Poo Poo's brother. Okay. I was living in the projects on Case Court, 40th and Case Court. Shout out to, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, 216. In the mix. What do you mean? Huh? I ain't had no business dating Poo Poo brother, but I like to have fun. All right. Me and my husband was separated and all that good stuff. Anyway, let's get into it. I was at work. I left work an hour early. Huh? When I tell you God be having me show up and show out right on time, I left work an hour early. As I was walking now, if you ever been to the projects, we lived in, I call them row houses or townhouses. So it was a long sidewalk from one side to the other. And I parked my car and I came home and I looked and I saw Poo Poo and Tamika and them sitting on Tamika's porch. Tamika lived directly across from me. And I looked outside and God said, go to Poo Poo house. But everybody was talking. Listen, everybody was talking. Everybody was talking and laughing. Nobody noticed that I was walking down. Poo Poo lived all the way at the end of my row. So I walked down to Poo Poo's house. God told me to go in the house. Now, her brother, first of all, her brother was a hood rat. Okay. Her brother had been like, oh, man, I like you so much. Even in the projects, even then, back when I lived in the projects and they lived in the projects, they saw something in me. Even at my time of being in public housing with 4 kids, men knew, hey, it's something about her. I need to attach to her. Now I wasn't giving nothing up, no shit like that. Men knew it. They said, hey, I need to attach to this one. She's something special. She's going somewhere. She's going somewhere. I need to attach to that one. You know what they would tell me? The dudes, they would say, you different. Huh? You different than everybody else down here. And I'm a rock with you, but I knew Poo Poo's brother was full of shit. So everybody outside laughing and talking and ha 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 ha. And so I walk down to Poo Poo's house. I turn the doorknob. The door opens up. I walk in, there's a radio downstairs. Music is playing. It's a radio back there. It's about 2005. The radio is blasting downstairs. I see an ashtray with 2 blunts in it. Nobody is in the house. Nobody. I said, okay. Now, you say, well, why don't you just walk out the house? I didn't hear nobody. I didn't hear no talking. It was just music, 2 blunts. That could have been anybody. Poo Poo kept a house full of people. God said, go upstairs. Come on, somebody. God said, go upstairs. I went upstairs. Poo Poo had at least 3 bedroom townhouse because she had a bunch of kids. I looked at the bedroom doors. God said, it's the middle one. I turned the doorknob and I went to open up the door. I heard her brother say, get off the door, Nautica. Get off the door, Nautica. He thought it was his niece. He said, go outside and play. He slammed the door. By this time, sometimes them doorways, the gap be open. I see a pair of knees on the ground with some jean shorts, and it was only one bitch who wore jean shorts in the project, and her name was Alberta or Albertina. I'm using real names. Fuck them. I just can't remember his name. Albertina was her name. And with a name like Albertina, you can't do nothing but wear jean shorts. So I went to open up the door again. And so this time she stood up. So he went. So after he fixed his, put his stuff back in his pants, he yanked open the door, not to find his little niece Nautica, but to find me. So now it is. I am looking at him and her. And I said, okay, okay. And I walked downstairs. Oh, he started chasing me outside. I go down the steps. I leave out. By this time, when I swing open Poo Poo's door, all the attention in the hood in the projects comes to me. And I start walking. I promise y'all, I was walking in slow motion. That's what it felt like, right? Albertina was her fucking name. Listen, I was walking in slow motion. He comes chasing after me. He like, it's not what you think. I said, it is what I'm thinking. I said, she's clearly sucking your dick. That's what it is. Right now, the whole project is watching us. I said, she's clearly sucking your dick. It's okay. I'm not going to do it. I wasn't doing it. God told me not to do it. So I didn't do it. Somebody, it had to be done. So now he's chasing me. Everybody in the project's watching. She started chasing him. She said, don't chase her. You don't need her. I love you. Boop, boop, boop. He turned around. He was like, man, going on with that bullshit. That's my girl. I said, I'm not your girl. Ma'am, you can have him. I said, y'all belong together. Y'all both rocking jean shorts. It's 20. Oh, I've been a fool. I've been a fool my whole life. So now everybody, all eyes on me, right? So now as I'm going home, I go in the door, I lock my front door, but he can still talk to me through the mail slot. He is now on my front porch in front of all of the projects, talking through the mail slot. His sister is cussing him out, man, get up. You ain't got a beg no bitch. Blue, 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 bop, bop, bop. He like, shut up, poo poo. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Why you had your door locked? She like, why you got her in there sucking your dick? It's hilarious. I'm in the house. He tried to talk to me through the mail slot. The girl Albertina is mad. She cussing. She fussing. She started talking about him. He was actually used to mess with this other girl. I can't think of that girl name. We're gonna call her Keisha. That's what was her name. He used to actually mess with another girl named Keisha, but I knew about Keisha before me and him started dating. But Keisha was still in love with him. So Albertina started talking about him, cussing him out, poo poo, like, bro, I'm gonna beat your ass. That's still my brother. Then Keisha jumps in and was like, he don't need either one of y'all hoes. He need to come back home to me. Mhm. By this time, I had went in my house. I have went in my house and I have closed my door because it is what too much, y'all. At that time, my hair was down my back. Okay. And listen, between the sunlight and these niggas, listen, Keisha lived across the way. What you mean? Why was Keisha there? Keisha was on her porch. Keisha was on a porch with Poopa and Tamika. Keisha, if Tamika lived across from me, Keisha lived next door to Tamika. He used to mess with Keisha for a long time, but he would never be with Keisha because she was ugly. Albertina lived about 5 doors down on the opposite row. She lived with her sister and them. They was raised in the project. So when you raised in the projects, when you turn 18, you get your own project. So like it'd be a family affair, right? So Tamika is somebody I knew. I grew up with Tamika in church, right? So I knew Tamika. Listen, boom. So boom, Tamika. It was Tamika and Poo Poo on the porch. Keisha was on the porch. Keisha lived next door. She was on the porch with them, telling him, "You don't need either one of them. You need to come." It was that D. That D was so good. Oh my God. Hey, let me tell you something. Let me go ahead and interject right here. First of all, the dick was amazing. The dick was amazing. Huh? Now I wasn't doing that. That was against my religion. I'm not doing that. And he loved that. So somebody had to do it for him. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. I'm not mad at you. And even then, though I lived in the projects, do you know that dudes in the projects be having money? His sister lived in the projects. He didn't live down there. Dudes in the projects, yes, he was a street dude. So anybody I dealt with in the projects, anybody I dealt with, okay, they had money and they did for me. Not that little $25 rent. I had 4 fucking kids, okay? Listen, before the headbands and the church dresses, listen, I'm really that girl. But anyway, boom. Let me get back to it. Let me get back to it. So he tired. They arguing outside. He arguing with his sister. Keisha arguing with Albertina. Poo Poo trying to fight Albertina. Albertina started crying. Her feelings is hurt. She's embarrassed. Boom, boom, boom. So boom. Then he goes around to my back door. It was a townhouse. So all the girls outside arguing. He goes around to my back door. He then, because my kids knew him, right? Especially my little kids. So he tells Zoe and Zion, hey, y'all, I got some candy for y'all. Open up the door. So Zoe, Albertina, she wasn't bad looking, but she wasn't bad looking. She had an old last name, but she was young. She wasn't bad looking. She just wore jean shorts. She looked like a Project Hoe in jean shorts. That's it. That's all. Bitch, I had my Lane Bryant on. Listen, projects or not, I had Lane Bryant. I wore patent leather Mary Janes back then with my Lane Bryant on. I was in my 20s dressing like I was 50, like a 50-year-old white woman, okay? Hair down my back. It was my real hair. I was the only one in the projects that had a computer and a printer, okay? Had internet, okay? I was down there for a reason. I was going to school and I worked for the CMHA and I was paying $25 in rent because I got the apartment before I got the job, so they couldn't raise my rent. Okay, but I had to move because that shit wasn't for me. Oh, I am no fool. None. Okay. Mm. So back to the story. So he tells my kids, he says, open up the door, I got candy. So Zoe, with her big back ass, that's my youngest daughter, Zoe, she goes to open up the door because, oh, his name was Boo. And that's not his real name. His name was Boo. His name was Boo. That was his name. Everybody, Poo Poo, Boo, Albertina, and Keisha, and me. His name was Boo. That's not his real name, no. His real name is something ghetto with a lot of syllables. Anyway, so he tries, so Zoe goes open up the door because she knows him. That's mommy's friend, and he brings them candy all the time and bring them food. And I say, Zoe, you better open up that goddamn door. And I smack her hand. I said, hey, he said, my man, just talk to me. Please just talk to me. Like, this is crazy. This is embarrassing and blah, blah, blah. And I said, say, sir, I have nothing else to say to you. Like, I'm good. Like, go ahead and leave. Do what you got to do. So he was like, you know what? Fuck you did. I ain't got to say nothing to you. You know what? It's cool. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I said, absolutely right. I said, stop acting like I'm your girlfriend and I'm the only one. Like, it's weird out here. So, he says, fuck me. Boo, I close my doors. He walks back around the corner to everybody. So now it's, F Misty, oh, whatever, So now he telling Albertina, going out his face, Keisha saying, come back home. And that, at this point, I open up my front door again because I'm out of it. And then, by the grace of, listen, by the grace of God, you hear a voice coming from the other end of the street. You hear an unfamiliar voice saying, boo, is you ready to go to dinner with me and the kids? And I walk outside. Yeah, I've always had my gift. I had my gift since I was 6. I walk outside, and who's standing at the other end of the street? But Boo's baby mama. Come on, Jesus. As I look back over my life, who's standing at the other end of the street? But Boo's baby mama with the kids in the car. The rental car is running, and they were on their way to the buffet. Had I not came home an hour early, had I not left work an hour early, I would have missed all of this. I would have came home. Boo would have been getting his, you know what, huh? And then his baby mama would have showed up. So when the baby mama pops up to my boo, what is you doing? Everybody in the projects losing, like, oh my God. And you still messing with your baby mama? So then the baby mama, like, what? This, that, and the other, boo, come on. So now Albertina and Keisha want to argue with the baby mama. Now I listen, I go outside with my popcorn, like I didn't start all this shit. I said, this is a lot. Baby, then I've been messy my whole fucking life. Baby, I go outside with my Lane Bryant apparel on. Baby, now Albertina, Keisha, and the baby mama are arguing. He's never left the baby mama. Never left the baby mama. Been dealing with the baby mama here, there, and everywhere. She was pregnant again. Nobody knew about it. Keisha, he had been promising Keisha. Keisha had been letting him use her food stamp card. All this shit came out. Keisha had been letting him use her food stamp card. Talking about he was putting food in the house. The baby mama like, oh, that's your food stamp card I done had? No, I've been using your food stamp card. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Your food stamps paid for my baby's party. I come to find out Albertina was giving up her check. I said the only thing I was giving them was a little ass. Y'all really got here bad. Albertina had been giving him money. He, make a long story short, he ended up leaving with the baby mama. He had to leave at that point. I was on my porch drinking lemonade and eating sardines and crackers because this is a lot. A lot. Now, years later, many moons ago, years later, this is when I had moved back to Cleveland. I moved back to Cleveland in 2017. So it was either 2017 or 2018. 2017 or 2018. I get a message on Facebook, a messenger request from him. And I was like, oh my God, this is Poo Poo's brother. Now, mind you, I didn't talk to him after that day. That was some crazy shit. I ended up moving from the projects a couple months after that. I get a message from him, a long message. By this time, he started his own business. He then got married and got divorced. He was older than me anyway. Mind you, this happened in 2005. He messaged me about 13 years later. He started off with saying, I did not know what I had. He said, I knew it was something special about you. He said, whether you know it or not, I've always kept track with you on Facebook or social media. He said, I see you back in town, but I don't want to impose on you. I just want you to. I'm talking about this man sent me a 4-page letter like Aaliyah. He said, I cannot tell you how sorry I am. He said, even when I left with my baby mama and my kids, I still was missing you. I still knew that I had messed up and I would never make it right. He said, I've been wanting to write to you for a long time and I just didn't know the words to say. He said, I just had a situation where I was with a woman. He said, I just had a situation when I was with a woman and she did me dirty. He said, and she kind of did me the way I did you. And I only felt like it was karma. He said, but I'm not writing you to tell you, I'm not writing you to try to fix the right, to fix my karma or adjust the ways of the world. He said, I'm writing you because this is long overdue. He said, I know we only spent a small time together, but you made a huge impact in my life. He said, you were the first person that made me really think about, consider about getting out of the streets. He said, when I started my business, I thought about you. You told me the same hustle I had in the streets. He said, the same hustle that I had in the streets is the same hustle that I could apply to a business. He said, and that's just very, he said, when I saw my homeboy be gunned down right next to me, that was a wake up call. He said, by that time, he was long gone. You had already left and went to Texas. He said, but I always remember, he said, out of everybody I dealt with, he said, outside, he said, not even my mama or my sister or my baby mama. Huh? Listen, he said, out of all of the people, he said, you believed in me. He said, and those words that you told me way back when carried me to who I am today. He said, and for that, I want to tell you thank you. And as I read it and I looked at his pictures, I said, damn, he kind of looked the same. He never was a looker. I wasn't never really I never was there, for the looks, right? And I was there for the hustle and the dick. And I looked at it and I said, can I give you a call? And he said, of course, I would love to hear your voice. And I said, better yet, let me give you this address. Bow, 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 bow. Sir, you owe me some head. All right, y'all, let me get something to eat. Give me about 45 minutes. I'll be back. If you don't follow, go follow me on YouTube. I am Coach Misty and subscribe for notifications. Uh-huh. Yeah. Took that ass down twice. Let me take you down. I really want to take you down. Hang up. All right. All right, y'all. Listen, go follow me on YouTube. I'm Coach Misty, so y'all will know when I'm going live. We will be back. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Listen, they said hang up. But they always telling me to hang the fuck up. Why you always telling me to hang the fuck up? All right, y'all. I'm about to go through my messages and see if I can. I'm gonna see if he married. All right, y'all. Y'all stay blessed. Bye. Hey, Facebook, YouTube. I'll be back. Give me about 45 minutes. We'll be back at 8:30 Central Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Okay, guess